Regardless of how we define success, be it having lots of money, a high-flying career, or simply being happy, just be happy, we all crave it to some extent. In business terms, you're considered successful if your product appeals to enough people that it earns you a profit, and that's no different in the world of video games. There have been plenty of titles over the years that one or two players may have found enjoyable, but just didn't end up being commercially successful. On the flip side, there are games that made their creators an absolute mint, so much so that they go on to spawn entire series that earn a truckload of cash. For this list, we're looking at the gaming franchises that have sold in their millions and spotlighting the 10 that have managed to outsell all of the rest. This ranking is correct at the time of writing, so if you're watching in the year 2055 and Adam Pachiti's Baked Bean Bath Simulator is now the best-selling game ever, then we apologise in advance. I'm Ben from TripleJump, and here are the 10 most successful gaming franchises of all time. Number 10. Minecraft. It's hard to believe that a game as universally beloved as Minecraft was initially developed by just one man. However, since its release all the way back in 2011, or 2009 if you want to get helpful about this, the game has become a worldwide sensation. By 2020, Minecraft had sold over 200 million copies globally. The secret to its success? Well, no one can say for sure, but if we had to guess, we'd say it would be a combination of the game's accessibility and the creativity it affords players. The simplicity and inoffensiveness of the gameplay means that it's suitable for the kiddos, but the opportunity to mine a ton of ore and construct yourself a big golden Wilson also make it enjoyable for adults as well. Even those who've never touched a video game before can easily jump into Minecraft and start playing right away. Simply begin by punching a tree a couple of times, then you'll get the opportunity to turn your wood into planks and sticks. You can then build a workbench and rudimentary tools, and before you know it, you've lost 6 days and you're the proud owner of a palace made entirely from diamonds. Number 9. The Sims. Who would have thought that being able to take control of tiny digital people in order to set them on fire or drown them in a swimming pool would be such a lucrative business venture? Clearly, the good people down at Maxis did when they created The Sims, and they were not wrong because the franchise is the 9th best-selling of all time, with its base games and their various expansion packs having sold more than 200 million copies, making it the most successful PC franchise of all time. It's easy to see the appeal. Creative types can spend hours upon hours making a bunch of weird and wonderful Sims, giving them snazzy hairstyles and kitting them out in the freshest of fashions. Those same folks can also take the time to build the perfect house from scratch before moving in a family that they quickly get bored of and burning it to the ground. If you're not a creative sort, you can still have a lot of fun with The Sims by living out your wildest dreams vicariously through your little pixelated peeps, whether that's becoming an astronaut, an accomplished artist, or just getting enough sleep at night. Number 8. Lego. The great thing about the Lego series of games is not only are they an awful lot of silly fun, and easy enough for even the biggest novice to pick up right away, but they're also a big old smack of nostalgia. Believe it or not, everyone's favourite tiny brick company has been producing games for over a quarter of a century, releasing titles that allowed players to race, play chess, and build Lego constructions without the wrath from their parents when one of the blocks inevitably wedges itself into the soles of their feet. People have really gone mad for Lego games since they started acquiring the licenses to a bunch of beloved properties, and since 2001 we've seen a plethora of different IPs getting the Lego treatment. This kicked off with a Lego creator Harry Potter for PC, in which players could get creative but with a Wizarding World twist. From there they moved on to action-adventure titles, which quickly became universally treasured. Beginning with the prequel Star Wars trilogy, it wasn't long before the developer, Traveller's Tales, had turned the likes of Indiana Jones, Lord of the Rings, and Pirates of the Caribbean into jolly little minifigures, capturing the spirit of the original work whilst injecting a load of silly humour. Ever seen a bunch of goblins doing the conga? Well, you have now. Number 7. Wii Series. It may be a little unfair to list the Wii series of games on this list. After all, Wii Sports came packaged with the Wii console, so if you'd picked up the 7th generation Nintendo hardware, you had no choice but to accept the copy of Wii Sports that came attached to it. We'll give it a pass though on account of the fact that it's so gosh darned fun. Comprising the likes of Wii Fit, Wii Party, and Wii Music, the Wii series collectively sold over 202 million units worldwide, with Wii Sports making up over a third of those sales by itself. Each of the games was a family-friendly affair with simplistic controls that mimicked real-life activities. Sports and its sequel were made up of a handful of mini-games that brought the likes of bowling, tennis and baseball into players' homes, allowing them to get competitive without the risk of tennis elbow or having their hay fever flare up. Wii Fit aimed to get the world moving and included a balance board peripheral that helped players keep on top of their fitness goals, and Wii Party was a collection of mini-games not unlike Mario Party, though in our writer's opinion, definitely not as good. The games were all easy to grasp and fun for all the family, which is probably why they sold in their millions, though the less we say about Wii music, the better. Number 6. FIFA. Oh yeah, here we go, sports time! I've played a football game before. Surprise, surprise, the AI is telepathic and most of their shots went through my keeper. And I've also watched football. Even so, I'm going to give this everything I've got. Sorry, but I have to do that. At this point, it's basically contractual. It turns out that football, or soccer if you want to get all the others, is quite a popular sport, and for that reason, people not only enjoy watching it on the TV, but they also enjoy simulating the experience of actually playing via video games. Releasing at a rate of one title per year since 1993, the FIFA series has been at the top of every football fan's Christmas list for almost 3 decades. Though the graphics have improved just a bit, the roster of players have changed over time and additional features have been added, the core gameplay has more or less remained the same over the years. Though not a game for everyone, seriously, if you're not into football, there's really nothing for you here, the FIFA series has managed to rack up a massive 325 million sales over the years. With the most recent title outselling the likes of Animal Crossing New Horizons and Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War in the UK, they don't seem set to stop releasing new versions anytime soon. Number 5. Grand Theft Auto. If there's one thing that people love more than football, it's committing crimes. Sometimes they do it all at once. Sadly, doing crimes in the real world will result in things like hefty fines and lengthy prison sentences, so the vast majority of us have to make do with their digital equivalents. Since the series' first title in 1997, the Grand Theft Auto games have changed quite a bit. The first 2 releases, GTA and GTA 2, were 2D top-down titles that simply tasked players with causing as much chaos as they possibly could. From there, GTA made the jump into 3D with Grand Theft Auto 3 and allowed players to explore an open world. Despite having faced more controversies than every other AAA developer combined, Rockstar has pushed forward with the series, with each release building on the last and giving players better stories, more side missions, and more opportunities to wreak havoc than its predecessors. Overall, the franchise has sold over 350 million copies, with its latest outing, Grand Theft Auto 5, having sold a whopping 150 million copies by itself, making it the second best-selling game of all time, pipped to the number 1 spot by Minecraft. It seems the only thing people like more than football and crime is punching trees. Number 4. POKÉMON. Whilst it may not be the most successful video game franchise of all time, POKÉMON is in fact the world's highest grossing media franchise, outselling the likes of Hello Kitty, Winnie the Pooh, and even Star Wars by billions of dollars. They do owe all of their success to the video games, however, because if it hadn't been for Pokémon Red and Blue, the world may have never gotten familiar with Charmander, Squirtle, and the less good Bulbasaur. Yeah, I said it, as well as their scores of adorable pals. The first generation hit Game Boy handhelds in 1996, and excited players all over the world rejoiced as they set off on their journey to be a famous Pokémon trainer, starter creature in hand. To date, there have been 8 different generations of Pokémon, each of which has come with brand new video games for players to enjoy. There has also been a smorgasbord of spin-offs, including Pokémon Stadium, the Pokémon trading card game, and the augmented reality title Pokémon Go that famously got everyone to go outside for a couple of months back in 2016. In total, the series has shifted over 380 million units worldwide, and with the main titles continuing to sell in their tens of millions, we can't see Pokémon leaving our consoles in the near future. Number 3. Call of Duty. You might think after almost 2 decades of heading into war zones and shooting ostensible baddies that players might be a bit sick of Call of Duty. Turns out, you'd be wrong, because people still turn out in their millions to buy the latest COD on pretty much an annual basis. Starting out life in 2003 with the OG COD title, for its first few entries the series stuck pretty stringently to the World War II theme, only finally shaking this off for its 4th title, Modern Warfare. Since then, the games have kept things hot and fresh by bopping about different periods in history, as is the case for the likes of Call of Duty Black Ops, or COD Blops for short, as well as by introducing gameplay modes such as Zombies, first seen in 2008's World at War, and even by getting on the Battle Royale bandwagon with Call of Duty Warzone. Since its inception, the franchise has sold an eye-watering 400 million games, a figure which doesn't even include the hundreds of millions of downloads of Call of Duty Mobile. COD also holds the Guinness World Record for best-selling first-person shooter franchise, and with the next closest being the Tom Clancy series with a little over 80 million sales, we'd say they probably don't have to worry about losing their title just yet. Number 2. Tetris. These days, there's only one way to know that you've truly made it in the gaming industry. What's that? Oh no, not with Game of the Year awards, sales out the wazoo, or a myriad of pop culture references to your property. No. You only truly know you've made it when your game can be played on a calculator. Despite not really changing all that much over the years, Tetris remains one of the best-selling franchises of all time, having sold nearly 500 million copies since its original development in 1984. Admittedly, a lot of those sales are from mobile downloads, however, the mobile versions that have been made available over the years have required players to pay for them, and so whilst it might not have made as much money as the other entries on this list, a huge number of people own and continue to play Tetris. It's easy to see why people love it so much. The premise is devilishly simple, i.e. stack blocks until you either eliminate a whole row or run out of space. It's quick and easy just to jump in and out of, and that famous theme tune is a complete bop. Is that it? Did I say that right? Is that how the kids say it? Number 1. Mario. Considering that everyone's favourite Italian plumber has been a mainstay of the video game industry for the past 4 decades, there's little wonder that Mario and his pals have been able to carve out a franchise that has sold more than any other. And who can blame the public for keeping on buying what he's peddling? After all, there's something in the Mario series for everyone. Whether you're into platforming, kart racing, partying, or tennising, our little mustachioed friend will have a game for you. Hell, we've even seen the series dip its toe into the mild horror pool with Luigi's Mansion and its sequels, and whilst they're no Silent Hill, the games bring a hint of the macabre to an otherwise bright and cheery franchise. After starting out in 1981's Donkey Kong and going by the name of Jumpman, Mario has spawned over 200 different games, as well as introducing characters such as Wario and Yoshi, who have gone on to have a number of successful games of their own. Over the course of its 42-year history, the Mario franchise has sold over 750 million copies of his scores of titles. To put that into perspective, for every 10 people there are living on planet Earth, one of them owns a Mario video game. And that is absolutely bonkers.